Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, misfits. It is May 9th, 2020. Today is Saturday. It is episode 4 something. I don't even know. I'll have to look. I have an event today that I'm going to be with Jim Rohn's business partner and two-time U.S. memory champion, Ron White. I'm actually kind of producing the show, so I'm going to be turning this over here fairly quickly to you all and let you all have some conversation. Yes, memory champion, two-time USA memory champion, Ron White, who also does the Afghanistan wall for all of the soldiers that have died in Afghanistan, 2,431 soldiers. Every year he writes their names from memory, their first name, last name, and their rank. And he orders them in the chronological order that they died, 1 through 2000 and 2,400 and some odd numbers. But that's his tribute, because when 9/11 came, he went over to Afghanistan and he fought in the Navy. So he's a good soul. He's a good egg. So, yeah, that being said, I'm going to turn this over to you all. Let's see if I find her here.
I'm here.
There you are. Okay. Let me make you host and change your role to host. And I'm going to make, let's see here. I'm going to make let's see here. Oh, I can't do it anymore because you're the host now. You can click on other people's names, Rhonda, and make them co-host. In the event your signal pops out, you can drop them in there. So, hey, listen, testosterone out.
How do I click? I just click on someone's name and make them a co-host?
Yeah, you can usually drop on their name and do that.
Okay. That's interesting. Where's Monique?
She's over here.
You can also do it, I think, from the 3 dots next to the mute and unmute at the top of the picture.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a great day. Let me know how it goes. No fighting amongst the kids. No fighting amongst the kids.
Have a great day, Sean.
Love y'all. I'll bring all my notes tomorrow. Y'all going to want to bring some people to tomorrow's event. Tomorrow I'm going to deliver you some content like you've not heard before.
Oh.
Love you, Sean. Have a great Saturday.
Love you, Sean. Thank you.
Love y'all.
Enjoy.
Love you.
Enjoy.
Okay. So Monique, where you at, girl? I see you. I made you.
I'm right here. I'm here.
Okay. I made you. There you are. I made you a co-host. So in the event that my signal goes down, you can take over. And
Okay.
I also did that because you have ran your YouTube channel and your YouTube show much more times than I have this. So hang on just one second. If you'll just mix the wet ingredients and the dry ingredients, mix it together, spray the waffle iron, you're good to go, baby. Okay. Husband wanted waffles this morning, so I mixed them up and he's fixing to have waffles this morning.
Yum.
Yeah.
Anytime
so,
you hear mix the dry ingredients with the wet ingredients, it's gonna be good.
yeah. Well, there's some amazing Einkorn waffles. Einkorn is a different kind of flour with a really small, what's it called? Well, anyway, it is totally different for your gut. So people with celiacs can actually eat Einkorn flour so you don't get bloated. So, yes, about yesterday evening, Sean informed me that he would not be here after 8:32 or 8:33, and he was like, "So have fun." And I thought, okay, this is gonna be interesting. So I have pondered all night. I have meditated. I have listened. I have done everything, and pretty much what I came up with is we're going to be open to however this goes. So if you're new here, you're welcome to drop an in the chat. We will welcome you. This is not your normal host for this show, for this call, for this gathering. However, I'm pretty comfortable sticking around here and seeing what's going to happen. We might not have everybody stick around that we usually do, and that's fine. Whoever needs to be here will remain here. So we'll talk as long as y'all want to chat, and if y'all want to jump off early, we can jump off early. It's up to y'all. I would like to, in my way, open us up with a quick prayer, and then we can get started. If you have questions, I see a couple of hands have already raised. We'll go down questions after that. But if y'all will grant me the moment, I'm just going to say a quick prayer over us. Heavenly Father, thank you for today. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for what Sean gets to do and how he gets to help out in that arena. Thank you for what he's put together for us. Thank you for the place, the safe place he's provided for us. Let us honor that in our conversation. Bring about whatever it is you want us to talk about and to gather around, and help our ears and our hearts be open to exactly what it is you want us to say and absorb. Father, be over this call and let it glorify and honor you in the precious name of Jesus. Amen. All right. So I see Nika. Is that how you say your name, Nika? You have a question? The positivity boss? Can you
You said it right.
Yay, Nika. Okay, see, I
Good
didn't slaughter it.
morning.
East Texas won, so that's good. How are you this morning?
I'm doing really well. I'm in Toronto, Canada. It's pretty cold up here right now, but I feel really blessed and happy.
Nice. Well, I know you were probably expecting to talk to Sean. You get the pink robe woman instead. So what's your question?
All right. Well, here's my question. I mean, I might ask it of Sean later at another time, but basically
Please do.
My question is, in terms of vibration, right? So everything with the law of attraction is about raising your vibration and maintaining the frequency of what it is that you desire, right? And I just want to know, like, what it feels like to vibrate at that higher level. And I was gonna ask Sean, like, what does it require to vibrate at that frequency of being a leader, leading a big team? Because I know he has a team of like 30,000, and I want to know like what that feels like, you know, so that I can like practice that vibration.
You know what? I'm
Yeah.
almost exactly sure I know what Sean would say. And Sean's vibration, it doesn't change whether he's with a team of 30,000 or whether he's with a team of 2. And the vibration that you're attracted to is how he sits in joy, how he remains in joy all the time. I've watched him on a stage in front of hundreds, and I've watched him on calls in front of 2 and 3. I've watched him just do a one-on-one with me, and I've heard him talk about one-on-one with others. And his vibration that we're so attracted to is his ability to choose joy. It's uncanny how he can do this, and it's why I blow his phone up. And that's the vibration that everyone keeps talking about. Is he has this way to take anything that comes to him, see it, turn it around, and throw it back in the world as joy. And he does that in every situation. So this weekend, let me just put it to you this way. This weekend has been a little challenging. The past couple of days have been a little challenging for me because of some personal things. And Sean does take lemons and make lemonade. And I talk to Sean multiple times a day. And I asked him, he was like, hey, you sound tired. So that would be, in your words, a different vibration change. And he helped me walk through how to remain in that high state of joy. And we use different words for it, because I've often asked him, Sean, why is the buzzword vibration now? Why is that how everybody's saying it? And he said, all that means is choosing joy. It's just a different way to say it. So then the question is, how do you choose joy all the time? And for instance, I have and I have some things happening in the next few days that I have to be around individuals that aren't necessarily vibrating at the same place I am. And I'm a little nervous about that. And Sean, this is how silly his brain will work sometimes. Sean will go, well, let me ask you a question, Rhonda. Are they all, fairly sane people? Like, yeah, absolutely. They are. They're just a little weird. Give me a little trouble. I said, okay. He said, so would it be safe to say that when you go to this event, everyone's probably going to have their underwear underneath their clothes and not on the outside? I'm like, what? And he goes, do people wear their underwear on the outside of their clothes over there? I'm like, no. And he goes, then just be thankful. Just be thankful, Rhonda, that when you walk into this event, nobody's got their underwear on the outside of their clothes. I'm like, really, Sean, that's what you do? He goes, that's what I do. And I'm like, Sean, he goes, just as it gets crazier, just sit back as a reporter and go, you know what, at least they've got their underwear on the right side. At least they're fully clothed. At least they're doing, and he goes, and just start acting like you're writing a story for a newspaper. And you're sitting there as an observer and you're just watching what's happening. And he said, and if it gets crazier, you just, mentally take out your pen and paper and go, you will not believe what's fixing to happen. Oh my God, it's happening. It's happening. And he has this ability to make me see all this crazy stuff that's coming at me, all this stuff that's hurt me before. And he turns it into showing me how to look at it in a joyful way. So that's the vibration you're saying, Kayla. Rhonda, I'm going naked. Stop it, Kayla. Stop it. He has this way of looking at it like that. He just says it in such a way that he can mix the buzzwords of how we're saying it now with joy, with the words like joy and love and peace. And he mixes it together. I don't have that gift. I'm not Sean Murphy. I never will be. And thank God I'm not. I'm Rhonda, and that's all I can be. So I think that's what you're getting at, is it's that vibration of joy, and it's a choice. And when, would it be okay, Nika, for you to be joyful now?
Yeah, I am joyful. Like I feel that I am joyful most of the time. I think I overcomplicate it because as I study vibration, right, and I study these different teachers and stuff, it's like you need to know what you desire vibrates at so that you can match it. And then I get caught up in my head of like, what exactly is the vibration of money, of having a big team, of all these things, right? And I kind of get, and I kind of overcomplicate it instead of just thinking like, okay, if I just feel joy, maybe that's enough. Maybe that's
well, what about
enough.
what about if you set in the pure essence and vibration of Nika? Wouldn't whatever is supposed to come to Nika instantly gravitate to Nika? Instead of you trying to vibrate where somebody else has found success, why don't you vibrate right where the most joyful part of Nika is at, and then pay attention to what comes to you and count that as your blessings and what it is you're to receive. See, a lot of times we study these people, and they all due respect, they deserve to be studied because they've had some sort of success or breakthrough that we haven't or that we want. But when it comes down to it, the people we study will never be them. They were them, and that's it. But you're created as Nika, and Nika has blessings in this world that I will never have. You have blessings Sean will never have. And when you do that, everything that needs to come to you at the right time will come rushing to you. And so then it becomes, are you distracted by seeing somebody else's blessings that weren't designed for you? And then that turns into envy, and that turns into jealousy, and then that turns into not sitting in joy. So it's like the devotion I read, the very first sentence of this morning's devotion, and Sean and I were talking about that before the call, is don't be so hard on yourself. And we think we have to have this hard road to vibrate, and we gotta get to this certain frequency, and we gotta do this. And there's really only one path for Nika, and it's Nika's path. You're just bringing yourself aware of the fact that you can become more you now than you ever have. And now it's not this huge, hard road of, I got to read this book and I got to listen to this person and I got to do this. Sean is so right when he said there's only been so many letters in the alphabet and nothing is new. Nothing. The only new we have is we've never had Nika. And circling with you right now and having this conversation, you feel very peaceful. You feel very, very lifted and very gentle and very sincere. You do. You feel very, very clear is what I feel. Very clear around you. And I think you need to sit in that and let Nika show through, because that's who we need. We need Nika. We need her smile. We need her generosity. We need your gentleness. You feel like a very gentle soul to me, a very kind of quiet spoken, gentle soul. And vibrate there, because I'm not that. I'm more loud and robust, and that blesses me to have someone like Nika show up. And you don't need to be Sean. You don't need to be your leader. And what's crazy is, as you said in your essence, people will rush to you in loads and loads. It's quite bizarre how that will happen. So you don't have to find the right frequency or the right vibration. You just need to find Nika and let Nika come out and let Nika enjoy and let Nika come play and let us play with her. And that would be fun. Does that make sense?
I love that. That's like, it's like so relieving to know that, because I don't know, I just feel like so much of what is in this industry is like follow the leaders, follow the people that have done it, study what they do. And I was just caught up in so long, like trying to be like, you know, all these leaders, even though a lot of what they do is not who I am. And like, as you're saying, like, I just feel so relieved and like just being able to be in my own essence.
Yes.
And my own person, instead of trying to fit into a mold of what anyone else is doing, you know. And I spend so much of my time trying to study what it is that the $1 million earners do, and how they act and what they post and all of this. And it's just kind of exhausting. And I just feel happiest when I'm just being me and sharing my own truth and sharing my own voice and putting my own content out there and doing it my own way.
Yes.
And
just a minute ago, as you were talking, just a second ago, I want to bring your attention to it. You're sitting there talking, and you go, and then you kept talking. I want you to hear that, because you released that. That was a release of, none of that's me. I need to go back to being me and let me come through and just become the best me possible. So you had that bit of a release that, okay, the weight's off, because you kind of walked in carrying a backpack full of rocks. And now it's like, yeah, backpack's gone. I'm good. I don't even need that backpack. I'm going to go get a colorful, bright, shiny backpack that's fun and vibrant and has lots of cool markers and colors and stuff in it. And I'm going to go paint the world. Because that's who you feel like to me.
Yeah.
That's just who you feel like to me. So lay down the big backpack like you have. You've exhaled and you've laid it down. And then walk into your essence and to your beautiful femininity and your amazing smile, and enjoy that exhale moment. Does that help?
You said that so beautifully, Rhonda, because I carry so much tension in my neck and shoulders all the time. And it's because I feel this like immense desire to help people and like support my parents. Like that's a huge part of my why. And then it's like I want to support my whole team, and it's like just like wearing these burdens, and then also just trying to be like anyone else, you know, it just feels like a heaviness. And so being able to release that would be so powerful for me. And I think that is what would actually raise my own vibration even more into vibrating more like Nika, because it's like you need to let go of the heaviness so that you can float up and vibrate higher, right?
Yeah. It's hard to float with a backpack of rocks on you.
Yeah.
You know? So let's have a backpack of like marshmallows or floaties.
And stickers.
You know, and just have fun and just bobble around and sit and, you know, hang out with everybody. So yeah, you'll grow, you'll change, things will come into your life that will lift you up. You'll have a, probably a much more educated conversation with Sean, and he'll change it even more so. But today I get that opportunity to speak into you and to speak in some, you know, for lack of better words, some rainbows and butterflies and some happy moments and some smiles and, you know, some genuine kind of childlike giggles and moments to just exhale. So these are the moments. And I know you said you're in Canada, so I don't know what's the weather like right now where you're at? Is it cold?
You know, it was snowing, but now it's sunny and it's just like kind of crazy.
So maybe you should just go and bundle up a little bit and just go sit in the sun for a little bit. And I would encourage you to find a place to where you could see some light refracted into different colors and enjoy trying to figure out how many colors it is you see and enjoy what it looks like in those colors. Just to sit around those colors. I know that sounds really crazy, but that's what's hitting me right now, is to see the colors. For some reason, every time I see your smile and I see you, I see colors. I just keep hearing the word colors, colors, colors. So I would say if there's a beautiful church building around you with some stained glass, or if there's some really interesting things hanging down out of windows or things like that, sit and watch those colors. Just
you know
dance
what?
around a little bit. What?
Like, I'm literally surrounded by that right now because I have these crystals behind me. This is my boyfriend's parents' house. And right on the wall, you can't really see it on the camera, but like there's a little rainbow right there.
Oh, how cool. Oh,
yeah.
See, that's so neat. Yay. Thank you so much for this, Nika. I hope that helped you.
It did. And I just want to say thank you for giving me permission that me being myself in my own essence is enough.
That's it. You are enough. I have a shirt. We all need shirts. I am enough. Sit in that I am enough thought and enjoy those colors. And then if you get a chance to jump back on with us tomorrow, let us know what it felt like. Because Sean will be with us tomorrow and you can tell him about the crazy pink lady telling you to go sit and watch colors.
Thanks, you,
Nika. Yeah, love you, girl.
Love you.
All right, let me see who else has got a hand raised here. Oh, we got lots of hands. How fun is this? Okay, Vach. Vach, where are you, my sweet poetic friend?
Hi. I'm at home.
How are you?
I don't know. It still feel kind of like yesterday where my feelings are kind of everywhere.
Yeah, you sound a little heavy.
Oh, yeah.
What is that?
I don't know. I guess lately I've been feeling kind of like, I don't know if I use the word depressed, but like really like heavy, I guess, like you just said. And I've been trying to figure out why for like days, but I've been stuck in this like feeling of just that. And I guess this morning, getting on the call and like listening to you guys talk for a little bit, I was kind of thinking about like, trying to find the words to explain what I'm trying to say without it sounding weird, I guess.
It's okay.
So like, I guess I felt like it's really weird for me to allow, like, or not allow, but like see other people like pouring into me. Like for me, ever since I was younger, I've been the like taking care of my brother and my sister. I've been the one that's like doing everything for everyone. And for me, lately, I've had one of my friends tell me, like, like, aren't you like tired of being everybody's cheerleader? Like, don't you want to like get into the game, like, and do, for yourself, or, win for yourself? And I feel like I've been trying to do that and get out more and, like, rank in my company and be a better trader and all that stuff. But it's just kind of like super weird. Like, I guess I'm so used to being that support system for other people that it's really difficult when I'm trying to do that for myself,
Yes.
Because, like, for me, I don't have like any family or anything like that. It's just me. So I'm like,
So this is kind of what's popping into my head. And I have a sweet friend on here, Sharon, who we talked about this last night. And I do better telling in stories, so walk with me as I tell a little story, and it'll get to the point. I noticed I found myself hitting the snooze button more often. And if I had a moment like this, where Sean's like, I need you on this at this time, I could get up and get right to it. But if I didn't have something like that, I tend to basically hit a snooze button. And I sat and asked myself a question, and this is the question I would encourage you to ask yourself is, why can't you, or why I asked myself, why can't I show up for myself the way I do for others? What is it that holds me back from me showing up for me even more than I do for others? And it sounds like a really easy question at first, and then it sounds kind of selfish, but it's not. I would sit with the thought of, what is it in me that keeps me from seeing how important I am to myself? Because when you wrote that poem for all the women, and it's this amazing poem. Can you read it to yourself? Can you read it and sit with it inside yourself? Because it's beautiful, and it's strength, and it's virtuous, and it's calming, and it's strong, and it's passionate. Can you see that in you? And if you can, let's talk about it. And if you can't, let's dive deeper into, why can't you show up for Vach like you do for everybody else?
I feel like I can see those things within myself. It just all comes back to, I guess, me feeling like, well, I guess my childhood, like when I was younger, I was always just the one that was there for my brother and my sister. Just, I'm the one that made sure food got on the table, got, just everything, because I guess that was the role that I ended up having to take on. So I never really had the time to think about, like, what am I not doing for me? So now that I'm of age and I think about those things, I'm like, okay, well, I know I'm not doing this, and okay, I'm doing this right, but it's just, I guess I just feel like there's just something that's unseen, that's still weighing very heavily, and I'm like, I don't really know. I have a sense of what it is that I'm not, like, I guess, giving myself as much as I should. But then, like you said, like, it kind of sort of feels like wrong to me. Like, I've always felt like, being a leader, or being, I guess, being a leader, it's always very important, like, to pour into the people around you, and they'll pour back into you. But it's like, for me, I don't, even if someone's like really like pouring, I don't know how to say it. Like,
this is kind of one of those oxygen mask moments. This is in the plane, everyone always says, put your oxygen mask on first and then help the person beside you. Because if you're not getting the oxygen, then you have nothing you can offer after a few more, moments to anybody besides you, because you haven't taken care of yourself. Now, and Sean would say this, as women, oftentimes we will give and give and give and give and give for everybody around us. That's just our nature. And we will feel that it's selfish if we give for ourselves or take care of ourselves or do something nice for ourselves. And that's actually the very opposite of what you should be doing. Now, selfishness to me is very different than taking care of yourself. This is more selfless than anything. You take care of you so you can show up for those around you and those that come into your life even more. So you've got to have some moments to where you're going to have to sit down and have a conversation with yourself, with your journal, or with a record it if you have to, if you got to say it faster than you can write, about why is it that I can't show up for myself as much as I do for others, and where is that feeling of lack coming from? Where is that feeling of I give and give and give and I don't ever pour anything inside myself? Where's that coming from? What has sat on top of me? What has been spoken over me?
I'm trying to let you and Jamal.
Hang on a second. I got to learn how to mute people.
Like, yeah, we feel like this is something that's.
Hey, you said get off my land, right?
LAN, yeah.
Okay, there we go. Vach, you'll have to unmute yourself because I don't know how to mute everybody individually right now.
I got it.
Thank you. So there's these are questions that you could sit and ask. Sean always says, ask. So if I were you, I would sit and ask, where did it come from that I can't take care of me? What stops me from taking care of me? And then I would begin to ask myself, what are the best ways for me to take care of me? For me, a lot of it is I will schedule times. It sounds crazy. I will schedule times where I can just go sit outside and I can ground. Grounding is putting your body, either your feet or your body, against the earth without anything between you. I might lay a towel down and I'll ground and I'll take a moment. Some of the other things is we could do something like this. So I would walk you through exactly what Sean did for me. I would ask you right now, are you in a comfortable spot right now, Vach?
Yeah.
Okay. So without moving your body, can you feel your toes?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you feel the chair you're sitting in? Can you feel your legs against the chair you're sitting in?
Mm-hmm.
Can you feel where the back of your back is touching the chair?
Mm-hmm.
Can you feel your fingers without moving them?
Yeah.
And can you see the rise and fall of your chest without consciously making it work?
Yes. That's so weird. Yeah.
So that's the now. That's bringing you present in the very moment of now. And then sitting in the now is a great place to have a conversation. That stops the nexting, that stops the worry, that stops the concern. It stops anything that takes you out of right now. And then as you sit and you can feel that, if you get yanked away into, yeah, but what about this? Come back to, okay, where's my fingers? Where's my toes? All right, I feel my legs. And now get yourself back in the now.
Mm-hmm.
And sit with how amazing it is to sit right here with Vach, right here with her breath, right here with her beautiful mind that has these amazing poems that come out of it. The amazing skin that's wrapped around your muscles and your bones. The amazing way your breath comes in and out without you ever having to time it or talk to it. It just happens. And then go ahead.
So odd question, but when you said like I guess what Sean says all the time, it's like giving, like you have to put your mask on before you put someone else's on them. Like, I don't know, it makes me feel really bad that I say this, but like, I don't feel like I'm that person. Like, I feel like I'm the person that's gonna help everybody on the plane. And if I end up dying while that's happening, at least I saved like 50 other people. Like, I feel like I'm that person.
Well,
And
that's understandable. You're very giving. You're very willing to sacrifice to help others. And I see that. That's honorable. That's admirable. How many more could you help if you kept your oxygen mask on as you walked and helped them? How many more people can come through your path? How many more people's paths can you cross if you kept your oxygen supply going?
so I guess that's where I need to be thinking, because in that moment, like I don't even think that way. Like, I just think help people. I don't think, okay, help me and then help people. Like, that's not even a thought that even crosses my mind, because
Right.
I've always been the kind of person to put other people first. And maybe that kind of goes, like, my grandpa, he's a pastor, and he used to tell us when we were younger, like, that the word joy means Jesus first, others, and then yourself. So, like, I've always kind of put in that order. So I've always thought of myself last, because I figure if I help other people, that's one more person, or 10 more people that get to live their lives and help other people because I helped them. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, I totally get that. The same conversation is if you don't sit with yourself and help yourself, you will only ever be able to help people achieve to where you've gotten. And you'll only be able to see them through the lenses that you have.
Mm-hmm.
If you sit with yourself and you allow yourself to have some time, just you, and rise yourself up, now the information that you have then, the quote unquote level of development of spirituality, of becoming, you can speak to them from a different place now. It would be the equivalent of if someone drove past my house on the highway, they can holler out the window and I can hear them. And that's, okay, they said hi, all right, good deal. If they drive in the driveway and they stop out in the car and they roll down their window and they talk, I can hear them even better. But if they drive in the driveway, get out of the car and come to the door and knock and come in and sit on the couch, now we can have a really good conversation. And we were always communicating, whether they were on the road, the driveway, or inside. We were always talking, but our level of intimacy in our conversation greatly increased as they changed their position. I didn't change anything I was doing. They were able to sit with themselves and change where they were coming from, and it changed the level of intimacy of which I could hear them with, and they could communicate with me. So that would be the same as taking moments and taking care of you is going to change the place from which you can come from and talk to people. If you stay where you are, and you can, you're going to have to be comfortable with getting people to that place, and that's it. Because you haven't moved forward. You haven't changed anything around you or about you to be able to incorporate more, to be able to give. So, and this just hit me, being selfless and putting you at a place of importance and taking care of you actually opens the door for you to help people on a greater level. So yeah, that's a little weird. And that's what hit me. When I think of Sean, and I think of those, he says he takes 1 or 2 hours to meditate. A lot of us would go, I don't even have that time. And then some of us would go, that's a lot of time to take to himself. But as he does, look how he shows up, and look how he has, every one of us have been lifted and we rise up even more because of his self-care. So you taking care of you and showing up for you gives me an example to look at and go, you know what? I need to do better with myself so I can do better with others. And it's that concept of too much is given, much is expected.
Mm-hmm.
If you take a little, what's expected of you? Just a little. But as you take more and put more inside you, what can come to you? If more's coming in and you can give more out, what else comes rushing back in?
More.
Even more. So the more you show up for you, the more you take care of you, you're able to give even more. Now you can receive even more.
Right. And I think Monique just made a really good point too.
Oh, I didn't see it. What'd she say?
She asked, like, am I helping others in hopes that they'll help me in return?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's true. Like, I do it in hopes, but not in expectation. And I think that does actually attach a lot to like my childhood, because, you know, with my mom, like, she was like really barely there. And I would always be taking care of my older brother and younger sister in hopes that, like, is she gonna come home? Like, is she gonna help me? Like, am I, like, always hoping that she would step up as a mom, and hoping that, you know, she would do something so that I could breathe and take a breath and, you know, leave it alone, and take some time for myself. But she never did. So it just, I guess I kind of fell into that cycle for everything else.
Right. So here's the beauty again, because we've said this before. As you change that and you sit with allowing more to come to you and showing up for yourself and becoming more, who has your DNA?
Right. My mom.
So who do you, in essence, give an opportunity for more change to come to?
My mom, yeah.
It's that whole little thing. Every time Sean tells me that, I'm like, oh, I know. I get it. All right. I get it. But it's true. So the one person that you would benefit greatly from allowing yourself to have more time with you and taking care of you, not only will be you, but it will be your mother too, and your father.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So no better two people to help in essence than your mom and dad, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So you can, as you sit with that uncomfortable feeling of, oh, I gotta have a little time to myself. Am I worthy? Am I okay to have that? You know, I need to go help people. Know that as you sit with yourself and show up and take care of you, more people are instantly being helped. And then you have moments like this where you can show up confident and asking a question, and all these comments going through, I haven't been able to read them, but I'm gonna guess a lot of them is this is helping them too as you get help.
Right.
It's a bizarre thing.
What Monique said, I
Yes.
don't know if you were on that specific call, but I did like release, I guess, the anger and all that stuff that I felt for my mom. I feel like now it's more like, after forgiving her, is just understanding the things that, I guess, in myself that I didn't know were not, I guess, damaged or not things that I wasn't paying attention to before. Now it's just about figuring out what it is in myself that was connected to her that I didn't even, know about. Because I just had that realization that it connected to my mom when he said it, and I was like, oh, okay, well, there's something.
Right. So I agree with Michelle. Monique, go ahead and unmute and chat some, girl. You don't have to just type it out.
You know, I think it's not a matter of you understanding or connecting it, because from what I hear, you seem to understand a lot how it's connected to what you're doing. I think it goes back to Rhonda saying, now you have to do the difficult part, which is choose. Choose that you deserve better. Choose that you deserve to go in a different path. And I think maybe in your mind, you equate doing that with being selfish, like you saw your mom be, or, you know, in your mind, you saw her in a way being selfish. Like, why wouldn't she take care of us? Why wouldn't she be there for us? So in your mind, you don't want people to view you as selfish because you equate that with your mom. So
I think that's
it's,
absolutely correct.
yeah, it's as simple as just choosing that and going, you know what, I'm going to do it because it feels good to me, not because I'm going to care about how other people interpret what I'm doing. And that really is, it's the hardest part and it's the easiest part. And it's easy because when you actually really do it, you're going to instantly free yourself. Instantly.
Right.
But it is hard because it's like, you know, changing everything you know and everything you've been comfortable with. And sometimes we get comfortable with things that aren't good for us because it's a place of comfort. It's a place of security for us.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And
yeah.
It's hard until, what does Sean say? It's hard until it's not.
It's not.
Right.
It's those little sayings that makes me sometimes want to just pluck him in the head, because I'm like, oh, that's so true. It's hard until it's not. And it's that release. It's what Monique's saying. It's that release of just letting go of, this is what I have to do, to, no, this is what I choose to do, and this is what I get to do for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then that puts you on a different trajectory. Kayla. Yes, Kayla. Yes. If you want to speak into this, unmute, girl. We'd love to hear from you.
Good morning, everybody. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Kayla.
Hey. Okay, I just want to share something because I remember when I, like almost 2 years ago, when I started here with Sean, the meetings in the morning, and I remember feeling the same way you do, kind of the same way you do, and for things on my childhood, right? Then, but the funny part was that I felt that I was the person that gave a lot of love. I remember even one time Sean asked something. I think it was like his third session, and he said something, and I started type there that we have to be all love, because I consider myself that I was that love giving person, and I only worry about everybody else, right? And in some way it was true. In some kind of way it was true that I was always worried about others and just try to help them, try to be there, try this and that. And I used to think that that was the correct way, and but at the same time, I was feeling empty. But I never shared that with no one. I said, what I give so much love, according to me, what I give so much love, but I feel empty. I'm always sad. I'm always depressed. I don't feel like I actually didn't feel like I shied or anything like that, right? But I never said that to no one. So I was like, life is this, life is that. I help everybody. I'm there for everybody. And what I don't feel, and sometimes I feel like I don't receive same back, and then I said, well, but I'm not doing this to receive something. So I keep having all those conversations in my mind, right? So when I start with Sean, I remember Sean, after hearing my story, right? For a couple days or weeks, I keep thinking that what I was doing was right, and I was all this loving person, right? But I was sad all the time, right? And I remember one time he told me, you know what? you need to worry about yourself. You need to start to take care of yourself. And I was like, how can you tell me something like that when life, everybody say like, think about others, help others, love others.
Right.
And this thing about if thinking about you, you selfish and you should put yourself out and blah, 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 right? And this Mother Teresa image, right? Like she's helping everybody and not worry about herself. Stuff like that is in your mind, right? So I remember he told me, whenever you start to worry about yourself, whenever you start to take care of yourself, do what Kayla want to do. Whenever you start to talk about your story and stop listening to everybody's story, and he said, it's not that I'm saying that it's bad to listen to everybody's story, but in order to really help people, before you hear their story, you have to tell yours. Before giving so much love to everybody, you have to give love to yourself. So when he said that, he really got me so confused because I said, I don't know how to take care of myself then. How I do that? Because all my life, and at that point I was 45 years old, and 45 years. And at that point, I always thought that I was taking care of myself. I never really understood, never had really clear the phrase taking care of myself. And I thought I was taking care of myself so many years because I did so much crazy things in life, right? So I thought that by doing all those things, I was doing whatever Kayla wants, and I thought I was taking care of me, right? So one of the things he started to say was, start to tell your story. But tell your story just thinking, even though you don't know, and even though you don't feel it, that's what he said. Tell your story because by telling your story, you're gonna help yourself. And that makes no sense at all. That didn't make sense, not one bit to me, right? But I listened and I said, okay. So actually he made me tell my story right here, right? And I'm not gonna say I felt that good, right? In that moment, but I felt relieved, right? And relieved, but I wasn't feeling like that good, you know? But I didn't understand anything at that point, right? I'm telling you all these things is because I find out after 2 years, almost 2 years, that I totally changed. I mean, I'm a different person, even the way maybe I see myself different, right? Well, other people tell me that too, right? Because when I started to tell my story, I started to help more people. I mean, you got no idea how many people I help by telling my story, but actually everybody, I'm helping me. And I started to take care of me. So it's like he made me change or switch that thinking of me always be out there to help, right? And he told me, start to tell your story, but to help you. Whenever you start to say that, you have no that you're really going to start to help other people. And it's true because, well, I never say my story before, right? But the way I feel that how much people I help after I tell my story, it doesn't compare to other people that I felt I helped before. And the thing is that I start to take care of me. I start to take care of me by thinking about me, by really thinking about my feelings, right? And start to work on that. And that started to change me not feeling depressed, not feeling sad. And I realized, and I'm saying this now because I read something there about your mom, right? Monique, I think, says something that is so true. I always thought that I forgive my dad. I always thought that. maybe in some kind of way I did, right? But it wasn't, maybe it was kind of just, yes, I forgive you, that's it. But really feel that my body feel like I did, so that keep me going and really do new things in life, that wasn't true. I started to feel that and realize that I never forgave them until I started to tell my story. When I realized that my story, as bad as it sounds, right? As much as people cry when I say that, I realized that my story is helping more people. And then I started look, and it's crazy because I started to say, I love my dad. And I mean, if I said this somewhere else, it's like, are you out of your mind? I mean, you're still under some kind of feeling, you know, possessed about what you confused, girl, or stuff like that, right? Yeah. And I know I'm not, because I know by telling my story, I really forgive him, because right now I said, maybe that had to happen so I can help other people. And I not even feel bad about it. And it's strange because now feeling bad about those things, I mean, I will never think something like that, right? And I want to share that with you because I remember I was feeling the same way. Like I help so much people and give so much love. And I was always depressed. I was always sad. I was always feeling empty. And I was worried because I don't know how old are you, but I was 45 and I said, gosh, I'm almost half of my way, right? And I said, when I'm going to start to really feel full? And I was feeling empty. And I don't know how old are you, but I mean.
So Kayla, let me ask you a question. Do you think it would be fair to say, and Vosh, this will tie in perfectly. Do you think it would be fair to say that doing for others constantly, you know, under the, I'm helping people, and you were, but doing for others kept you in a bit of a prison because you never could step in your fullness of who you actually are and can become. So it was kind of the attention, the attraction to the distraction, and it kept you from becoming what God made you to be. It kept you from truly helping others because it was a bit of a prison, and it was a comfortable place because you knew you were helping people. It's what your heart wanted to do. But the one person that needed more help than anybody was yourself.
Yes.
And as you became, and I've watched you do this, as you become you and loved you, for, if you want to put it in business terms, look what's happened to your business.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead.
When I thought that I was helping people, because the helping and loving people, according to what was that meaning in my world back then, right? I was just doing things. And I realized today that actually what I was doing was looking for people to love me for what I do. Actually, that's what I was doing. I wasn't helping no one. I mean, as a matter of fact, I receive more thank you now than all those years that I give so much and I supposedly help so much. You can fool life. You can fool energy. I realized that. I was trying to fool energy and fool life. I was giving so much material things with a smile, with a fake smile, right? That I thought I was helping. But up to today, I haven't heard from none of those, how you say that? Hundreds of people that I help. I haven't heard from them. because my energy wasn't right, and because my real intention, without me knowing, right, was to receive love. I was looking for love. I wasn't given love.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for love. I was looking for people to say, oh, Kayla, you are so nice. I was looking for people to think about me good, because deep inside, I never thought I was a good person. Although I never say it, and I actually never really think about it, but that was what I was doing. I was trying to get people to love me, to thank me. I was trying to make sure that I was a correct person. And of course, I understand now that I went through so much from so little. I mean, from 3 years old, I went through so much for so many years. And when I realized that all the things that were happening, and I realized I was looking for my dad and my stepdad to love me like I see other kids who were loved by their father, and not the way they were loving me. I started to think that I have to do a lot and a lot and a lot so I receive a hug, because I never received that from them, right? And I guess inside me, and I'm sure now inside me, I always thought I wasn't the right. I never was good enough for people to love me. So I always have to buy that love. How I buy that love? Giving. But it was that fake living, but I giving, but I thought it was the correct way. But I noticed that nobody ever remembered Kayla. I said, gosh, people are so ungrateful. I give them this, I give them that, I give them that. And they're not even, oh, human beings are so selfish, are so this. And I was the one being selfish in my own self. I mean,
that's a really good point, Kayla. That Vach, I hope this
I would
is
love
resonating.
to respond to that.
Yeah, okay,
I want
go
to
ahead.
respond to that. Okay, one, Kayla, I really want to thank you for even saying that you wanted to say something, because yours, I definitely haven't shared this before, but your story is definitely quite similar to mine. Like from, hold on one second. Okay, she stopped. She was loud, sorry. But I mean, even from, childhood, I was taught from my parents to my grandparents to, dealing with sexual and physical abuse from 5 to 17 years old to, for me, I was addicted to partying and smoking weed and not being in the correct state of mind for a long time. And just so many things, being homeless from 16 to 19 years old, and I'm 22 now. So you were wondering how old I was. But yeah, so I do definitely resonate with your story, and you saying that, you helping other people, even though you didn't think that it was falsely at the time, you were just thinking that, I'm helping others. But now to realize that you were looking for love, I think I kind of do the same thing, but I don't ever help people in a false way or fake smile or nothing. I just feel I do it, and then have that whole yes, I want you to love me. Because I guess it's, what I don't know, I guess it's just what I'm looking for, is companionship or something.
Well, it's kind of that attraction to the distraction. If you look, and this is what Kayla's saying, if you look everywhere else, then you don't have to look inside. And if you don't have to look inside, then you don't have to see what's there that needs to be tended to. And you don't have to be reminded of the hurt, and you don't have to be reminded of the pain and the suffering. So you get attracted to anything that distracts you from seeing inside yourself. And that's what Kayla did. And I have been blessed to watch her transformation. And that's what you're starting right now, is the journey to actually looking inside and seeing what's there and coming face to face with it and going, you know, everything I need's right here inside me. I gotta look at this. I gotta sit down with this, and I've got to sort through what exactly has happened to me. And I've watched Kayla, and it's been a ride. It's been a roller coaster ride watching Kayla go through this. And that's exactly what you're beginning right now, Vach, is you're beginning the journey inside. And it's sometimes we have those moments where we're like, anything, please send anything to distract me from seeing what's inside. Because there's some closets and some doors that you shove things into. We all do it. I do it. And there's moments where I set myself right before God and go, all right, reveal to me anything that needs to come out that we need to deal with. And that's basically what you're asking, because you're at that point where you love helping people. You love it. But you're ready to get some help too. And it feels like if you get some help, it feels like if you get some help, you won't be able to be there for others. And that is a ploy of the enemy to keep you distracted from ever becoming Vach. The poems you write are a simple glimpse into who you truly are. And they're magnificent. That poem is magnificent. I can only imagine as you take this journey inside like Kayla has, like a few of us have on this call, what greatness will come spilling out of you that will change the trajectory of multiple people's lives because of how you'll show up. Does that make sense?
Thank you, guys.
How does that sit with you? Because I still feel a little resistance around you. Not necessarily like a concerted effort resistance, but resistance of, for lack of better words, oh crap, if I do this, there might be some things exposed that I don't know if I want to walk through them.
Well, no, I've asked God on a numerous of times, like, you know, reveal in me what I need, you know, to get out of me. And let's say it's been a hell of a ride every single time I ask that question. So I'm like, oh man, now without me even asking God that question, you say like, okay, that's what you're asking. I'm like, oh man, I'm ready, but whew. Like I was talking to Malik the other day, and I was telling her that I've been unable to cry for like a long time. So I'm like, man, I already know if, as soon as I do this, like, I'm just gonna not stop crying. So
yeah. But that won't be bad. So this
willing.
this is to switch gears for a minute. This would be where I would go in a spiritual way. I would tell you this. If you were to come to me, Sean and I have these conversations, if you were to come to me with something like that, my answer as a spiritual mentor would be, as you say a prayer like that, and asking a question is a prayer. Okay. So you sit before God and you go, all right, what is it in me that needs to come out or change, or what do I need to see or deal with? However you word it. The next thing I say, and I always say this, is I always ask God, as you reveal it, only reveal what you know I can grasp right now. And only reveal it at a rate you know I can handle it. And as you reveal it, hold me tighter than you've ever held me. And guard my thoughts as you walk me through this. And
that makes it feel a lot safer to say.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And that is me taking refuge in him, and kind of, for lack of better words, me kind of getting shoved in the crevice and letting him pass by and reveal whatever I need to reveal, but being protected by him the whole time. And every time
the transition of a caterpillar to a butterfly. At least you're cocooned the whole time.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what? Now that you're saying that, Rhonda, I remember when I first started this, before my praise, and the reason I asked your age is because, I mean, you look young, right? And I always tell everybody in these meetings here, and the reason I always say my age is because I want to transmit to, you know, everybody is like, imagine the bless of being so young and receiving what I received when I was 45. I mean, I was looking for so many years for something like this, but we not even have computer back then. So imagine that, right? So, I mean, I always look at all these social media and all this Zoom thing and this and that as a bless, while other people talk about it. Yeah, this is not a bless. This is something not for God. I say, no, this is for God. The reason why it exists here, maybe people use it the wrong way, but this is a bless, right? But what I want to say to what you say, Rhonda, about the pray, I remember back then, I always say, why this happened to me? Why, right? We don't deserve to be sad. How can why I was so so little and I went through that? It wasn't my fault, this and that. That was the kind of things I will say, right? But I will tell you the way I said it, right? Because Rhonda, you said it like real nice and that. And I'm gonna say
Kayla said, I'm finna give you that real.
But I said it back then. I said, okay, listen, God, okay? I understand now that all these things happen for a reason. I don't understand exactly why you made me go through all this, but I know if you did it, it's because you control everything. And I guess it's for a good reason, which I don't understand right now, right? But I hear that everything happened for a good reason because you act in different funny ways, I say it like that, right? And I say, so God, here is the deal. That's what I used to say. I said, here is the deal. I don't understand why you made me go through all these things from so little, which look bad. But now I understand that if you allow that, it was for a good reason. So let's do something. I'm going to start to love myself and do like the way this man is telling me to do. Because if you put him in my life, I guess it's another reason for you to put him in my life too again, right? So I'm going to listen to him because if you don't want him in my life, just take him away. Don't make me connect to that meeting. Don't make me listen to him. Either instead of me go deaf, make him go mute, right? Stuff like that. I will say stuff like that to God. And I said, but I'm going to start to do what they telling me. So you show me exactly what you want from me. So I can really be that person that you want me to be. Because I don't understand how you're doing all these things, but I understand that whatever you're doing for me is for good and for good of everybody else. So that's the way I used to say it because I really didn't know how to pray this and pray that, right? And I know it was a Bible there, but with so many things, I was like, I don't believe in anything anymore, right? And that's the way I started to talk. And amazing, but I started to talk like that and things started to look different the next day. But I started to tell myself, and Sean taught me this, I was thankful every day, really thankful for everything. Like today, I will say I'm thankful because of this meeting. I'm thankful for everybody who's talking here, all the picture I'm seeing. I mean, here are 41 person and I'm only looking at some pictures. For some reason, I'm only looking at those pictures. And I start, because Sean told me something too. We always look at things right here. We don't look more far, right? He said, I mean, it's always a reason for everything. I always used to feel bad because I'm not in these calls every day. And I started to remember Sean telling me before, hey, you're gonna be where God wants you to be. Maybe that wasn't the day. Maybe today is the day. Don't question that. Just be there and love and see more. See more out there. For some reason, you decide to ask that question today when Sean is not here. And you have to say thank you for that. Like Sean said, and I love that, right? I mean, every single thing, when you start to say thank you, even though you don't understand. Like when I go through things in the team, right? I'm Sean's team, and I got this huge team too. And little things start to happen. I say, I don't understand anything, but thank you. And I love what's going on. I love everything that is happening. And that doesn't mean I understand it. But I say, I love, and that's changed, like the girl early when she was saying that vibration, when she talked about vibration, I say, you know what, I wasn't in no kind of vibration before. I not even feel like Jake, right? and and now it's like everything in front of me, I say the word in myself, inside me, and I love what's going on. Even if things start to look bad or sound bad, it's in my eyes, it's in my mind, it's in my ear that sound bad. But they're not even bad at all. That's the way I see it. That's the way it sounds to me. So when I started to learn the affirmation, I said, okay, when something started to happen that I think is bad, and I say, I love what's going on, and thank you for what's happening, even though it looked bad. Because I said, if something that happened to me, so much abuse, is turning out to be, listen to what I'm saying, it turning out to be a great thing, and that's hard to say something like that, right? I mean, somebody not agree with you, somebody mad with you, maybe that's the way you seeing it, but it's good. And you have to say, we have to learn to say, we don't have to do anything, we have to learn to say, and I love that, because you change the whole vibration of what's happening. And that's why, Sean, whenever you come to Sean with a problem, right? Because nothing is a problem for him, right? Every time you come to him with a problem, right? You feel like, sometimes even feel stupid. I mean, and he don't like me say this time, right? But just the way for me to express, sometimes when I come to him with a problem, when he answered back to me, I feel like, shit. And he make it look like it's a party of love here. I mean, how he do that, right? And it's that vibration thing that the girl earlier were asking, is because I guess inside him, he say, okay, and I love that. Nothing is bad. Everything is here for a reason. So I started to do that, right? And I started to do those things. I still don't do it like 100% like he do it, right? But it helped me to always be happy, really in that vibration, on that everything that is happening is good, is love. Just that my eyes are not able to see it in a good way, but it is good. And when I started to see things like that about my life, about everything that is happening, and if something happened today, if I feel that way and I see it that way, the next day, I really say, gosh, I really love that supposed argue I had yesterday, because it started to make me see other things, because I get into that loving vibration. Everything is right. Everything is good, and I started to say all this good words in my mind, and everything changed. And I guess that's how the vibe, I changed being me, and not seeing anything as a bad thing. I changed the vibration of the conversations, right? And that's how every time you come to him with a problem, I mean, for me to call Sean with a problem right now, I mean, I really analyze that. I think I even write it down. I think I tell it to myself, I listen to it. And I know at the end, he's going to turn it around like it's not a problem at all. But for me to come to him and tell him, hey, this is going on, I'm like, oh my God, I know I'm getting in what field I'm getting, but I mean, I have to do it, right? Because you need a mentor. You always need somebody to listen to. You always need somebody to advise you. and it had nothing to do with the age, right?
Right.
Because before I used to think like that, right? But you do need somebody, so you don't think.
So let me read to y'all real quick, if y'all will permit me, what Sean and I read this morning together. This is the devotion that we read, and it's pretty interesting that this is today. So bear with me. It's just 2 paragraphs. The first sentence is, "Don't be so hard on yourself. I can bring good even out of your mistakes. Your finite mind tends to look backward, longing to undo decisions you have come to regret. This is a waste of time and energy, leading only to frustration. Instead of floundering in the past, release your mistakes to me. Look to me and trust, anticipating that my infinite creativity can weave both good choices and bad into a lovely design. Because you are human, you will continue to make mistakes. Thinking that you should live an error-free life is symptomatic of pride. Ugh. Your failures can be a source of blessings, humbling you and giving you empathy for other people in their weaknesses. Best of all, failure highlights your dependence on me. I'm able to bring beauty out of the morass of your mistakes. Trust me and watch to see what I will do." And to me, that's a beautiful summary of exactly what Kayla has experienced as Sean has walked her through, of releasing pride that she has to take care of herself and cover her story, and not ever being able to connect with people on a vulnerable level. And realizing that once she laid that down, once all of us lay down that self-righteousness of pride, that you begin to open up and God will bring in things to your life that you'll flourish, you'll blossom, you'll bloom, you'll become attractive to people, and you'll begin to feel what it really feels like to help others because you've allowed yourself to receive help. It's very hard. There's no way I could speak to Kayla's or Vach's abuse because I never had that abuse. So as you experience something, that opens the gateway for you to be able to talk to people even more. But it's you keeping that hidden, you keeping that as, oh, I'm going to go help as many people as I can instead of helping myself and showing up for myself. It's that moment whenever you turn and go, you know what, it's time for me to show up. It's time for me to show up for myself. That releases you to be able to see things and talk about things that will connect you with people on a total different level. And that's when true connection happens. That's when true love is exchanged. That's when release happens. And I have been blessed to see the release. I've watched Kayla release so much. I've watched Sharon release. I've watched, Vach, I've watched you release from the first time you spoke up. And it's a beautiful thing to see. And that's what's so attractive. And that leads to the, say again?
So I have a question for Kayla. And then I would love for you guys to go on to the other people who have their hands raised because they've been waiting so long dealing with me.
It's okay.
Kayla, with you going on this roller coaster, as Ronda would say, this journey, looking back, what advice would you give me starting that journey myself?
You gotta unmute yourself, Kayla.
Oh, there you are.
Thank you. The way I start, when I realized it was like you say, a roller coaster, I realized that, first of all, the first thing I hear you say that you cry a lot now, and that's good because I never cried before, and then I started allowing myself to cry. Whatever I feel, I cry, right? I started do that, right? And then I started to say, you know what? I sat down when Sean started to tell all those things to me. I said, I realized at that point that I was never really me. I thought I was, but I wasn't. And I'm just gonna say it the way I did it, right? I think Ronda saw this thing too. Before I had long hair, right? And I was never like curious. I mean, I was always curious to cut my hair, but I was worried of that wasn't a move that would allow people to me become a good person for some reason, something about my hair. Then I started cutting my hair. I dye my hair, I think, all the colors ever exist, right, Randa? I had all, I mean, any color I discovered, I had it on my hair. I started to really think about me, what Kayla wanted to do, just that really make me happy, really. But it's not easy. It's not easy because we are in this roller coaster. Well, to me, it was even worse because it was at 45 years old. So it was more years in between to not knowing exactly what makes me happy. So that was the first thing I had to do. Really, what makes me happy? It wasn't easy because my whole life was doing what makes other people happy. So if I use something, it was for others. So then I started to dress the way I really want to dress. Sometimes people even sometimes I wanted to be some kind of way, and I say no, people would think that I'm too child, like that I act like a kid, right? And then I never do it because what people will think, right? So when I realized it, I said, you know what? I'm gonna start. I even started to smile different. If you see my picture back, my smile was totally different because and I realized that I have a better smile now than before. And I thought before I had a better smile because before my smile was prepared to what I think people want to see. Now I smile like ear to ear, like, and before it's like, no way I smile like that because that's not, you know. And now it's like you can see my tooth here and my tooth over here, right? But that's me. And I realized that when you see those pictures and people see you, they see the real you, right? So what I'm saying with all this is, first of all, you really need to stop and think what makes you happy and start to do that. And that's not easy. But you really have to do it, right? Think if you want to dress like this and you want to stuff like you want to do, start to do it because that's doing what you want to do, right? And after that, that thing that bothers you, that you don't talk, that you probably talk in here, right? Those things about, because you keep repeating that, and I was like that, right? You keep saying, my childhood, my mom, my childhood, my mom, right? And you say that here. You need to start to say that out there, right? To whoever you feel like saying it. I started to say that, I mean, it was crazy because I jumped from here. I jumped to say this thing here, to say to 300 person. That was crazy, right? But why I did it that way, just for you to know, is because I had no friends. You know, I never, I mean, actually, I do have friends now because I know all you guys and I met Rhonda. But before that, I didn't have any friend who I can call. So I started to tell my story little by little. Shum sometimes says, every time she talks, I find out something more about her. Right? Because it's not that I say my whole story right away. But even if you start to tell it to your own self, start to listen to you. Every time I say my story, I'm thinking more of what I'm saying and what I'm feeling instead of thinking what I'm helping, because I'm actually helping, but I'm thinking about me. So it makes no sense because it didn't make no sense to me before, but it started to make sense as soon as I start. Like
Well,
if
it makes perfect sense because you get out of the way, Kayla, and you let your heart speak instead of your mind.
well, maybe it makes sense to you, Rhonda, right?
It does because we get to hear your heart instead of your brain, because your brain tries to make it all perfect and your heart just says it with the feelings and the rawness that is there.
But
and it opens you up.
Like the way I feel, because I relate too much to her, and in that point is like how that's something like that is gonna change my life, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Maybe it makes no sense to her because it didn't make no sense to me, but I started to do it. I started to do it because I trust the group. I really like for me to start to talk about my life here in the group because I started to feel some kind of connection. So I started to talk, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I can tell you. I mean, first of all, be you, but really be you. You want to scream, scream. That's why sometimes I worry, because sometimes I feel like really go out there and be naked, and I'm worried because I really feel like doing those things. So I said, stop, Kayla. I mean, that's being too much you, right? But that's how I feel sometimes, right? Yeah. And that's good. Being me. So now I understand why sometimes I act like a kid, because I didn't have a childhood. So now I don't blame myself for that. I didn't have a childhood, so that's why sometimes I scream like a kid, I jump like a kid, and before I feel shame about that, I stop feel shame about it. And there is people out there, they're gonna talk about you, of course, but I don't worry about that anymore.
That's right.
When I go to this event with Sean, I mean, you can hear my voice screaming, and before you not even hear me, not even a little bit. Now I'm the one that screamed the most. I'm the loud. I go and I use like the brightest color and this and that. That's being me. Maybe I'm being a kid, but I deserve to still be a kid because I was never a kid before, right? So just figure out exactly what you want to do. Just figure, and like Sean said, don't ask for permission. Yeah. I mean, that got in my mind so strong that sometimes I worry because I really don't want to ask for permission or anything.
Kayla, you don't need permission. You just show up, girl. You're amazing.
Yes, and then I sometimes worry about that because I say, gosh, Sean got me that inside me that sometimes I just jump, right? And I'm like, you told me to not jump, like addicted to approval. So I said, well, I don't need no approval, so I jump. But you know, I'm working on that part too right now because I think I went to the extreme. But anyway.
Thank you, Kayla. Yeah, you're amazing. Thank you.
I hope that helps you. I mean, it's not easy. I mean, but you can do it. You know, and I say to my perspective of going through what you're going through, for to know exactly how to start, it wasn't easy. But I just decide. Somebody wrote there, you made that decision that this is enough, right? So yes, I made that decision, and I didn't know exactly the book of how to do it. I mean, you don't know. There is nothing written that you can say, right? But you just say enough, and I want to be happy, and that's it.
That's it. Yeah, it's that choice. Thank you, Kayla. Vosh, I hope that helps you. I know you feel like you've taken the time, but I'm glad you did, because that's the one thing that I told Sean, I'm just going to let it flow how it flows today. And because of that, we get all these amazing women speaking, and I love it. So I hope that helps. Erica, you had your hand up. Are you still with us, Erica?
Hi, I'm here.
Hey, there you are, beautiful. How's your tooth feeling?
It's better. Thank you so much for thinking of me. Yeah, I'm drinking coffee today. So I'm so thankful for the little things.
Amen.
As you can see, I'm emotional right now. I'm crying for Raj and Kayla and everybody else. I'm thankful that I'm speaking after the conversation we just had, because a lot of that resonates. It hits really deep. I think we've all kind of been going through the same thing lately. Questioning like the paths that we're on. And so I raised my hand and I spoke about this the other day, but I'm still struggling with it and I just need some help.
Okay.
Erica,
Erica, before you say anything, take a big deep breath. Big deep breath. And you're going to inhale faith and courage. You're going to exhale fear and doubt. And I want to speak really quickly to your subconscious. You're safe here. You're in a safe place. And it is okay for you to release what needs to come out. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you for that. And actually, this is really the only place I feel like, that I can be vulnerable like that. So I just want to say thank you to everyone, for being here and just, I love it here. I love this community, right? So basically, I'm just feeling kind of stuck. I've been on this tremendous journey of alignment with the universe, right? And so I've been propelled through this experience of self-love, which we have been talking about, all morning, and self-acceptance. I've been in toxic relationships for the past 14 years. The last one, that I went through, I was really, really deeply in love and ended up, in a domestic violence situation. And so after that, that's really kind of the beginning of my awakening, when the universe had to rip the toxic things out of my life in a very painful way. But if it didn't do it like that, it wouldn't have happened. And that propelled me onto, again, this journey of self-exploration that I'm going through. So I love who I am today. This woman, even though I'm shedding tears and being vulnerable, is super, super strong and very powerfully aligned. And sometimes I think it can get scary. So where I'm at now, I'm in a new relationship. I've allowed myself to, take a chance at a relationship again. But this woman that I am now is completely different than I was before. Meaning I don't put up with certain things. There's, things that I would entertain before, I'm very shut off about now. So I'm finding like a struggle, and even in being an entrepreneur, it's hard when you're in a relationship with someone who's not an entrepreneur, because they don't understand, right? So on this journey that I'm on, I keep feeling alone a lot. And I know that's what happens, with leadership. Sometimes you feel alone. And I think it's because you're forced to finally look at yourself. I'm a lot like Vach. I've always been the one that everyone turns to, that everyone could talk to, always the strong one, but who's strong for me, right? And like Kayla said, like everyone was saying, you got to be strong for you. Like you said, when is it going to be okay for you to be strong for you? So being an empathic person and attracting, narcissistic people into my, circle, I'm kind of finding myself in that same position. It's hard for me to balance wanting to love and receive love, but also continue on this journey that I'm on. And I'm noticing all these people are falling out of my life. Situations, jobs, relationships, things keep falling out. They're also replaced with better things like this community.
So I got to stop you real quick and tell you what's downloading. Hold your thoughts. You're speaking from a place of lack and you're seeing abundance, but you're not speaking from it yet. So let me reprogram that just a little bit in your head. You were released from things that didn't serve you well. And you were released from things that hindered you from stepping into your true essence. Nothing was yanked away. Nothing was ripped away. You were released because you are worthy of coming out of that prison. You were released because your time is up from having to remain in that prison. You were released because the freedom that is yours now has always been there and is now capable. You're capable for stepping into that freedom. So it's not a place of lack because you keep saying your word, power of your words. Words are super powerful. Words can speak life or they can speak death. You were released to step into greatness. So the things that didn't serve your greatness, the things that hindered you from seeing your greatness within yourself, from speaking from your greatness, from feeling your greatness, from feeling your strength, from feeling your confidence, the love that is inside of you is greater than anybody else's love because it's Erica's love and it's the essence of who she is. You were released from anything that held that captive. And now you are free to fly into that pure love, pure strength, pure joy, pure confidence, abundance of whatever that means. Finances, love, grace, hope, peace, joy, kindness. You're released into that, Erica. This is a moment that the tears are tears of joy because now everything, every tether that held you to the ground has been cut. And how does a kite fly higher? It flies higher with more tails. The more tails a kite has, the higher lift that kite can go, the higher that kite can soar. All those tethers that had you stuck to the ground have all been sliced and cut. And now, sister, you're soaring. The difference is you just never been this high, so you're a little panicked, but it's a good panic. This is Erica that we know because the Erica that I see hovers, and she needs to be up with the stars. When you speak with a confidence and an air about you that is life-giving and uplifting. When you smile, your whole countenance changes everything around you. You're like the crystals that I had said to go look at with the light refracting. That's you. But if I can't see you in front of the sun, your colors don't shine. These things that have all been cut from you, all these labels that have fractionalized your existence, have all been released, not yanked away. They've been released because you are ready for a higher level of existence. You don't need to stay where you were. That's a lack. You have an abundance of love inside of you. You have an abundance of grace and of generosity and of kindness. Now you have finally lifted and we're getting to see you take off. And here's what's crazy is a lot of us are the ones holding the string to get you running to get that kite to lift up. Girl, we will hold that string and run into the wind with you and whatever it takes to get you to lift. And all those tethers that were once bondage are now used to create a lift by catching the wind and letting you soar. I'm speaking life over you. It's downloading like crazy to me. I'm speaking life over you. I'm speaking life back to your smile. I'm speaking life to your bright eyes. I'm speaking life to your heart. I'm speaking life over every bit, your business, your finances, relationships that are only the ones that you need. I'm speaking life to that, and I'm calling out to that to rush to you. Blessings that are indescribable. Moments that you would have no reason, you've never done anything to earn, will begin to show up into your life. Connections that you could have never made on your own are coming to you, and they will not be narcissistic in nature. They will not call upon an empathic thought inside of you. They will come beside you. They will link arms with you. They will lift you more than you ever have to lift them. And the struggle now will be allowing that to happen, and you've done nothing in your mind that you can think of to create it. Let the tears flow all of this negativity out of you. Let those emotions leave your body. Go ground and let the earth take away any negativity that, yeah, I am about to come out this road, Gina. Let the earth take away any negativity that's set around you. You are worthy. You were created to do this. You were created for great and mighty works. And it's all in you. It's all been there. You just needed a little East Texas mama to kick it out of you and go, sister, we fixing to soar. We fixing to roll and soar. You feeling me, girl?
I feel your energy through the screen, and I just wish I was hugging you. Like, I'm feeling your love. And I was born in Texas, actually. I was born in Houston.
Come on.
I live in New York, but I appreciate you, and I appreciate, you know, the words that you're sending me, because I asked for help, and that's what I need, because that's what I put out there, and this is what came, and that's what I need. And I think, you know, like you said, it comes from a point of realizing that, yeah, I deserve it. You know, all the pain and suffering and giving and not receiving, I deserve it, right? So, you know, now I'm kind of, I guess where I'm at now is unsure on how to move forward, because now I guess that's been my biggest downfall, is being attached to things, not connected to everything, attached to nothing, right? So I've been attached to these things, just like that stupid tooth, you know, to these things that cause me pain, right? Is it the addiction to the pain? Is it the, you know, not feeling that, yeah, I deserve to be happy? Like, through all the struggles I've been through, being in toxic relationships, working 2-3 jobs, getting my degree, raising my 2 kids, going, right? Everyone said, what do you want? You're so successful. What do you want? And all I would say is, I want to be happy. And like now on the other side, for my spiritual breakthrough, my paradigm shift, you know, being here right now with you right now. Thank you for bringing this smile onto me. You're so beautiful. You know, I love it here. It is a place of strength, but it's new. And so it's hard to say, like, yeah, you deserve to be here. You know, so now where I'm at basically is, I don't know how to move forward, basically. I think in a relationship, because it's made me kind of where I'm softer to the rest of the world, and maybe even myself. It's like in that relationship realm, I feel like I'm a little bit harder. You know, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's something I didn't do before, is set boundaries and stuff, you know, and that's how I maybe got walked all over, you know.
Well, you keep saying a key word. You keep saying do. I got to do something. I got to do this. What do I do next? What do I do? How about be? How about become? And it's what Sean has said, do less and become more. How about your action taker? You might need to talk to her and say, hey, listen here, action taker. You need to take a rest, because Erica's on the stage right now. And you need to have a seat, because it's Erica's moment to be on the stage. And Erica is going to be here. How about Erica does the same thing that I watched through, which is, how about Erica sits and you feel the chair or the whatever you're sitting on right now. How about you just sit? Can you feel where you're touching the furniture without moving your body? Can you feel your fingers without moving your fingers? Can you feel your legs without moving them? Feel your feet without moving them. Can you feel the life-giving oxygen that goes through your body without you having to say, breathe, inhale, exhale? You don't have to do any of that. It flows naturally because you're here. How about Erica just bees present? Because Erica is present on my screen, and when she's present on my screen, I can't help but smile. Because you're not doing anything. And if you try to do, you're going to go back into that same thinking that you've been in because you've been in action taker mode. What did I do to do this? What did I do to create this? How about you bring yourself with that every time you think of what I got to do, but you breathe into your body and feel your body without having to move it. Feel what it's sitting against. Feel the energy that it takes to push back where you push onto the earth. The earth responds. The chair responds. You sit down, the chair responds with, let me support you. How about you just sit in that support and be? Just be. Yeah. Inhale and exhale. Exactly. Exhale that weight off your shoulders of what do I got to do next? You're a mom, you have kids, you've got all these things. How about instead of asking one more thing of Erica, you just allow her to be present. Fill the room with the colors that come out from you. There's nothing you have to do except breathe and exist in this very moment right now. And when you feel that rushing on top of you, go, whoa, hang on a second, let me go through my exercise. Let me inhale faith and courage, exhale fear and doubt. Let me check in with my body. And it'll bring you current and it'll bring you present. And when you're present and you're current, the past and the future have no place at the moment. Just this very second. And at this very second. And now at this very second. That's all you have to do, beautiful woman. That's all you have to do. There's no doing. You're going to become more by doing less. And I can tell you from personal experience, the more I've become, the more attractive I have been to people. And people come rushing to me because they will see you sitting in your grace and in your essence and in your greatness. And they will want to know, how can I be enough like Erica? And you will find yourself with exactly what it is you need around you as you just sit and become. It's a paradigm shift again for you, and it'll take a little time. I know Sharon's on this call, and Sharon has learned to stop doing, and she has become. And it's a full physical manifestation, like Kayla has said. Your whole appearance and everything will radiate your becoming. And Erica, you're worth that.
Thank you. It's very powerful. I think Sharon wants to speak, but it's such a powerful feeling, you know, to be here and to know that. And while it's scary at the same time, it's just because it's overwhelming and new. You know, I don't know if Sharon wanted to share something.
Yeah, Sharon, I unmuted you, Sharon. Can you speak?
Okay. I do not want to interrupt you at all, or the flow of this, Erica. You are amazing. And I'm just sitting here in such awe of the beauty here and seeing, you know, Vach do her work and you do your work, and your commitment to yourself to show up and ask what you need to ask to get there. It's just, it just so warms my heart. And I you know, just in the last month of hanging out with Sean and Rhonda and you guys occasionally, because 4:30 is really early for me. But my life has all come together as a result of this, and nothing will ever stop me again. And it has nothing to do with money or people or things. It has to do with a place that I belong. And I belong because I now belong in this community, that part of me that, you know, that is addicted to approval. There's this other part of me that knows I belong within myself. I no longer am hiding from myself or what I have to offer. And, you know, while this is going on, there's this other person who's been chatting with me about like this big decision. And she's like, oh, I think I'm going to go over here instead of over here. And I'm sitting here just in love. Whatever she does is just fine with me, because I know that the right people are being drawn together. And as I see us, the connection, I mean, the fact that Sean is somewhere else altogether and he's so in tune with what's going on here, it's mind-boggling. And it's not, because at the original question about vibration and frequency, we are vibrating at a level that is raising not just ourselves, but the planet. But we can't raise the planet without first owning it for ourselves. We can't, you know, do it out there when we haven't given ourselves that love. And just becoming the best of who we are is, I mean, I'm watching Rhonda, woof, she is amazing. We don't need Sean here, we got Rhonda.
Stop. You're so sweet. Thank you.
But at the same time, it's like we pour into one another. Kayla said the right things in the right way. And I'm just sitting here. Yesterday, I was like, whenever I'm not in a perfect space anymore, like joyful, I think, okay, your job is to be joyful. And yesterday, I was like, well, you should be doing, you know, it's like, no. When you think you need to do more, that's when I need to do less. And I've always known that. That's when I become quiet. That's when I used to go meditate. Well, yesterday, I was tending my plants. I've been withholding so many things that give me joy. I don't sit and listen to music anymore. I don't, you know, I mean, I haven't been. And what I'm doing now more of is putting back the things that lighten, that make me feel good. It just makes me feel good to talk to my plants. It makes me feel good to feed them, to nurture them, to nourish them. And guess what? In that process, I'm nourishing me. And I know that the outcome is going to be drawing amazing people into my life, like all of you. I want to just hold you all in my arms. And I just want to love on you.
Sharon, we love you. Thank you.
And I'm going to have to jump because there's somebody's been trying to get me for 2 hours.
Yeah, go ahead.
So.
Go ahead. Love you, girl.
I love you guys. Bye-bye.
Erica, you had something else you wanted to add?
Thank you for leaving us with that. You know, and she's right. And I'm finding vibrating at this frequency, right, which helps me manifest everything that I desire. I'm so thankful for it. We all have this desire to help others and to bring them to this place, right? And it's hard sometimes to do the dirty work and go down to that frequency, drag them up. And I've been finding myself tired. I'm tired. You know, I know there's some universal shift going on, whatever it may be, and that's because, you know, I've just been doing.
And you can't go down and bring them up. You bring them up by staying at that vibration yourself. If you go down and join them in the pit, then you're both in the pit. But if you stay in your vibration and you make a space for them to come on over, the water's fine over here, they will come, you know, or wow, the view is great from this kite. Come on up, and there will be people who aren't ready and don't want it. And it's not your job to make them be there. Your job is simply to keep on holding for yourself and holding at that place. And don't ever try to reach down to pull somebody up, because you can't do it. You know, you'll drown, like this, like the lifeguard says. Anyway, I love you guys. I hate to leave you. I don't really want to.
Erika, I want to share something with you.
Yes, please.
Well, first of all, I want to tell you that you're so beautiful. And
thank you.
I mean, you're real beautiful. And the reason I'm telling you this, one, is because it's true, not just because I want to say it, right? It's true. But But the other reason I'm telling you this is because been there, all the things you talk about happened to me too, right? I guess result for many things, but anyway, I was in a lot of toxic relation too. I was also just put it like this. One time I was somebody, I allowed somebody, or it happened to me, somebody broke four of my rib, three in one side, two in one another side. And I'm telling you this because I used to think, right, that I wasn't good because I allow those things to happen to me. And I feel real bad with myself because I say, gosh, I'm a strong woman. People look at me like that strong woman because nobody see what was behind, right? So nobody knew. Every time I go out there, it was this fake smile and this powerful woman, and everybody, oh, Kayla, you're so professional, you saw this, you saw that, but nobody know all the crime that I was having inside, right? Nobody knew that I just came, like one day I just came from somebody hitting me and try to put makeup and all that stuff, right? And nobody can see it. And what I'm saying this is because they destroyed my whole face, and it didn't happen one time, it happened many times with different persons, right? And I put my kids on risk too, right? Not because as a mom, not like saying like I want to put them on risk, but when those things happening, then you realize, gosh, I put my kids on risk, what's going on? And then you feel more bad with yourself because you say, I'm not a good mom. I'm not a good woman. How come those women out there be so strong? And when you see these relationships like real nice, you say, why I can't have that relationship? Why I'm so professional dudes and I'm being like the best mom I can be, and why my personal life so awful, right? And I'm sharing this with you because, first of all, for you to know that you're not the only one, right? That here are people like you that been through the same thing, because given that I never talk about it, I feel like I was the one weak, right? I was the weak one, I was the bad one. And people don't go out there and tell those things, right? If people talk about those things, it's because they can see that something happened. But when they see somebody, and now I say pretty because I know I'm beautiful now, but before I never thought I was beautiful, right? And when they see people beautiful, they say, she had the perfect thing, she doing the right thing, how'd she do it, They don't think that we go through things like that, right? And so yes, I've been through a lot of toxic relation. I'm not gonna sit down here and yeah, it was a reason behind all that. That's not the point right now, right? Because it's always a reason behind all those things. The point right now that I realize is that, you know what? Yes, it happened. But you know what? I'm gonna try to say this the way I feel it, right? Because Sean always tell me, believe it or not, the things that you feel, a lot of other people feel it too when they go through the same things, right? So that's what I say, how I feel, because you probably connect with that. And the way I started to change, right, is the first thing I started to learn is it already happened, right? It happened. I stopped thinking about why I wasn't like this, why I didn't do this. I stopped thinking that, because I always thinking, but why I can't change? Why I always end up doing the same thing? I always say this is enough and I end up doing the same thing. I stopped thinking that. That's the first thing I started to do about personal relationship. I stopped thinking why I wasn't strong enough, why I didn't have the strength to not let those type of relationship in my life. I stopped thinking that. I started to think about, and we go into the same thing. What happened in the past? It happened, and it happened. I'm gonna say it like this: it happened for a good reason, so that I can help someone later on, like you now. See, I'm so thankful about everything that happened to me because I can share that with you today. That changed the whole thing. And I'm not saying with this, I want a lot of bad things to keep happening so I can share with people. No, right? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is today, I'm thankful because all those bad things that happened to me, I can use them to share and know how people feel, right? When you start to talk, I say, gosh, I start to remember, and I have to say, no, Kayla, because I start to remember and I feel like going down and crying because I start to relate with your feeling. But instead of relating with your feeling in a good way, I start to relate with you in a negative way. I start to remember all those things and I say, no, that's not why those things happen to you, Kayla. Remember, those things happen to you and you love that because now you can help her. So, and it's not that I don't allow myself to cry, but how you start to change your thought, right? So just think about that. Yes, it happened to me, right? It's nothing that I can do now about what happened in the past. I will try to find the best part of it so I can help other one. And yes, there is a good part. You can help other people later on, but not now. Not now. You need to think about you. Stop thinking. I remember when I used to think, I know my kids see me doing that and they probably don't think good about me. I don't know how old are your kids, but I feel like no matter how old are them, I say they will think that I'm a bad mom because I'm always, they probably think that I'm worried about a man before worry about them, but I'm trying to be the best mother and I don't want, I was worried about all those things, right? And right now I say, you know what? In order for them to think good about their mom, they have to see me happy. They have to see me doing what I want to do. And now now they confess to me. Yes, they think a bunch of things that I don't want them to think. Yes, well, it's true, they think it. But now they can share it with me. That makes the difference. Before they never share those things with me. Now they feel that they can share that with me. And they share that with me because they see a different mom. So, there are so many things going in my mind and inside me right now because I can relate to you, what you feel and the way, and I can feel how you feel because I used to feel the same way, and but all I can say is, don't worry about those things now. Think about that one day you will find the answer for those things. Don't look for the answer right now because you won't find them. You won't find a bunch of poison things for your mind. Just let that go. They will come back for good, okay? Right now, think about, I found this community. I found people that go through the same thing like me, so I'm not the only one. I don't know if we should be happy about that or not, but it's comfortable when you know that other people understand you in some kind of way because they went through the same thing, right? And look what I'm turning. And I can brag about myself, yes, and I feel good about bragging about myself. I say I turn out a better person, a better woman. I feel happy with me. I feel like I'm beautiful now. And I don't frustrated for what I did, for what happened to me, right? Because now I say I'm taking care of me. And I'm not going to sit down here and say I'm not going through things still. I still going through things, right? And Ronda knows that. I still going through issues, right? Our personal life, yes. But the way I put up with that now, the way I look at it, the way I handle is because is better because I think about me, right? So that's, that phrase that saying you change, the world change. I never understood that phrase, right? I never understood that phrase, right? And I understand now that if I'm happy, I'm gonna put it like, I contaminate everybody to be happy too. Because it's like they can't fight against me. gosh, whatever I do, you happy. Whatever I say, you happy. Whatever you say it's fine. And it sounds like you don't care, but it's not that you don't care. It's that you said, you know what, even to my kids, I have to do with them. I had to stop thinking that I was a selfish mom, of thinking that, you know what, I always buy things for you. Now I'm going to buy things for me.
That's right.
I always take them to when I start to have the money, like, you know, money to take them out to eat, I always take them out to eat. I always take them. I never take myself out to eat. So I say, you know, I'm going to take them. And I'm not feeling guilty that I was eating a good food and they wasn't there, right? Because always feeling guilty about that, because I want them to look at their mom as the best mom. I started to think about me. I started to fly to other countries without taking them. And yes, and I love that.
I love you, Kayla. Self-care.
I started to think about me. I deserve that, right? And they complain. Gosh, mom, you always flying and you always going country. You don't take. I said, so what? Hey, your time will come. This is my time right now. And they love their mom more. I can say that way now that I'm like that, right? Because they proud even to see the picture of their mom, this and that, and they brag about me to their friends, and I love that, right? So I'm sharing this with you because I know how it feels. I know how it is. I know how it is to be in toxic relation. I know it's not easy because it's something about us, right? And I know that people tell us, you are the one who have to change. You don't have to tell them to change. You have the one to walk away. You the one. But it's not easy for you to change, right? Because you always thinking being good, being nice will change them, right? And accepting things. And being good and accepting things are two different things. Be good and be nice and accept things for you. For you.
That's right. That's right. So in essence,
I found that, but start to be selfish and start to think about you, and that will change the whole world.
Well, that's choosing joy. Kayla is basically saying the same thing. She's choosing joy. She's choosing happiness. And that's her choice. And that's what she has control over. And because of that, she can sit in joy no matter where. It is your choice. And so what this community is going to help you do, Erica, is to see how amazing you are, so you can begin to choose you, and you can begin to choose joy because of how phenomenal of a woman you are. I'm going to keep speaking that over you. I just am. I just am. You're not going to be able to stop me. So does that help you today?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. And thank you, Kayla, for sharing. And you're just so powerful. Every single person in this room, but especially, Kayla, thank you for connecting with me, because we really connected and you moved me today, and I look up to that power, and that's what I'm going to go out and do. I'm not going to try, I'm going to do it. So actually, I'm not going to do.
Yeah, there you go. You're going to become.
Yes.
That's awesome. Okay. Thank you, Erica. So I've got my husband who's working on the back porch. So we'll probably take one more. Delia, I know you had your hand up. I'm going to ask Elizabeth, because Delia, you and I and Sean can jump on another moment, because we can get a hold of Sean anytime we want to, because we're lucky like that. So I'm going to ask Elizabeth to speak up right quick.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes. Hello, beautiful.
Hey, sorry, I'm straightening my hair.
That's okay. How are you?
I'm trying to make myself feel better, because I'm in such I know I should be really happy today, but I feel like, I don't know, I'm not. So today was supposed to be my graduation day.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I definitely got robbed of it because of the whole COVID thing. So my family was supposed to come up because they live in Savannah, Georgia. And my grandmas were supposed to come. It was supposed to be this whole huge event. And now I'm just at home and I'm done with school. And it's
so what are you graduating with, and what are you graduating from?
I'm getting my master's in medical social work. So
Congratulations.
thank you. And
That's
I
huge.
worked so hard to get it, and I should have graduated last year, but I had like all these like trials and tribulations. It was just like a really, really crazy last 3-4 years of my life. And so I finally made it. And it's like, now I'm like, oh, I don't even get that, you know? I don't get that celebration that it was like I had a reminder when when I went on my social media. It's like, God, sometimes I hate social media, but I had like that celebration thing that said May commencement 2020 is today. Like the timer went up and I'm just like, oh my God,
So
what
let
am I
me
even doing?
so let me do this, because you have a plethora of amazing people that are on this call, and everybody wants to support you. So y'all can all come off mute, and y'all can all send some love to Elizabeth. Go for it.
Woo! Congratulations, Liz. You deserve
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Woo! You guys are making me cry.
Love you.
It's okay,
Girl.
cry.
Let it out.
Celebrated. Congratulations,
Girl, that's all that matters.
everyone.
You did it.
Yes,
There's a
exactly.
graduation
You
gift.
did it. You did it.
That's
Your
right.
graduation is amazing, by the way.
May I say something real quick? I put it in the
Please.
chat.
Yes.
But we give power to words so much. I've learned this tremendously this last week. And the way you worded that about your graduation being today, and you said you're not getting it, you make it sound like to me that because on this day where you would walk the stage has been taken away, that you are now not graduating. So think about how you just stated that. Don't let the fact that you don't have this big gathering take away from the fact that you are still graduating.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know why I was like so attached to that. Like, I don't know. And you're right. You're right. I should my diploma's getting mailed out today. Like, I still I don't know. You're right. And thank you guys for like doing that. Oh my God, I got so emotional for a second.
Well, you know,
The
no
side
one
note-
can no one can rip this away from you. It's exactly what Michelle's saying. No one can rip this away from you. And I was hearing you, Michelle, because I was hearing the same thing. I'm like, hold up, we gotta say that differently. Because you do get this. You have accomplished this. You have put in those countless hours in those classes that kicked your hind end, and you stuck with it anyway. And you've put in countless hours dealing with the dean and dealing with professors and dealing with class schedules and juggling everything in life. And you, amazing woman, have come out the other side of that even more brilliant than you started, even more amazing than you started, and you deserve every bit of it. And you can celebrate, girl. You don't have to have the people there to celebrate. We're celebrating right here with you. Here's what's crazy. Everyone will always remember when you graduated. You want to know why? Because it happened during COVID. Yes, yes. You will be that one where everybody go, oh, no, she graduated during COVID. I know exactly when that was. So now it's absolutely unforgettable when you graduated. You will always be remembered for graduating at this time.
Because I'm the first one to do it. We're the first. This is like the first time it's actually happening with everybody.
That's it. That's exactly it. So, girl, straighten that hair. Pull them shoulders back. Lift up that head. Put you on some glamorous makeup and strut your stuff around. Even if you can't get out, walk around that house like you own the whole school.
That's what I was planning on doing. I swear, I literally was like about to put my face on today. I'm like, you know what? I was gonna get all dressed up today.
Yes.
I was gonna do my hair. I was gonna curl my hair today, but I don't know. I have a 3-year-old and
yeah, that doesn't last real long with a 3-year-old crawling all over you.
Doesn't last that long. Yeah.
Yeah. So get dressed up. Do your hair. If you have your cap and gown, I would tell you to do some crazy videos of cooking in your cap and gown, cleaning in your cap and gown, I'm not kidding you. Do everything you can in your cap and gown and take all kinds of pictures and flood your social media and your story with how you're celebrating the accomplishments and what God has put into your life and how you're stepping into that greatness. Absolutely. Throw it all over everywhere. And you can drop your social media into the chat, and we will all follow you and support you, because sister, what you accomplished is fabulous. Fabulous.
I wish I had my cap and gown. I don't. I have to, because we're doing like they said we're gonna have it later on in the summer or maybe in the fall. So they had like the school closed down. I couldn't even order it. I was like, all right, I guess I'm getting nothing right now. So I have no
put on your favorite outfit. Put on one of your fancy outfits. You are stunning. So you could put on a trash bag and you would still look amazing. So put on whatever and title it Graduation Day and celebrate this. Girl, you're so
that would
worthy.
be funny, actually.
It
That would be hilarious.
fabulous.
Put a garbage bag on my head.
Yes, it would be fabulous. Either that or get one of your, I'm sure with a 3-year-old, when mine was 3, we had capes. And I would always have to wear a cape of some sort around with her. Or, oh my gosh, yes, that sweet baby. Or get a blanket. You know, you can always tie a blanket and tie it around. That's what I had to do sometimes. And wear you a Superwoman, a Wonder Woman cape today for graduating in such a miraculous way. You deserve that, girl.
Thank you. I literally, like, you guys being here and like lifting me up, I felt like I just graduated. Like, you guys, at least you guys are celebrating with me. Like, I think it was just I felt so alone, you know?
Yeah.
And I finally got to talk with you guys for the first time. I've talked on Nano twice already, but it's my first time talking with you guys.
Well, you will have to jump back on again when Sean's here, so you can talk to, you know, the GOAT. You can talk to him as well, because I'm going to tell him about this celebration, and I'm going to let him know what we've done at the end of, 8:30, 9:30, 10, almost 2.5 hours. We get to end our call celebrating a flipping master's degree from a powerful woman who stepped up with a 3-year-old and said, I'm going to get this done. Girl,
yeah,
that's
I
huge.
started my program pregnant and I ended it with him being 3. I had to do part-time because I wanted to be like a stay-at-home mom. I still wanted to raise him. And like mental health is really important. And like I'm a drug counselor, so I counsel people who are on drugs. And like I mean, all my other clients are all other diagnoses for depression, anxiety, everything else. So it's like, even though I'm in the mental health field, like I need like to talk to other people how they deal with mental health, including myself. Right. You know, because they always say like, even if you're a counselor, like we almost need like our own therapist for our own selves.
Right. So where are you located?
I'm in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay. So is it chilly up there?
It snowed yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
And it's really cold today too. Like, and here's the thing, it'll go from like 70 degrees to snowing the next day. The weather is so crazy here. It's just the norm. So I'm just waiting for summer.
Can you get out and take a walk up there? Are y'all free to do that?
Yeah, I'm gonna take my son to the babysitters today for a little bit because I'm actually getting a certification that I want to finish. That's like another one of my goals. I got to get my licensure stuff together because I got to get that into the board as soon as possible to get another license.
So do you have
even though I'm done, I still got so much more work to do.
Yeah. Do you have like a piece of poster board or a large piece of paper by chance?
You guys, look here, I'll show you. This is what I was doing. So I felt so great doing this. I don't know if you guys you probably already have, but I started doing a visionary board yesterday with my friend because it was her birthday yesterday. So I told her to come over. I'm like, I'll bake you a cake. I'll make you dinner. So she came over yesterday. It was one of my good friends from like grade school. I've known her since like the 2nd grade. And so literally I have on my counter all the clippings because I was going to put it on my my calendar I don't use. And I was going to glue them. So like that one says, be in your moment, grateful, calm.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Can you take one of those pieces out of the poster that you're not using, or out of the calendar that you're not using? And this is going to sound crazy, but can you write on? Okay. Can you write on there and keep it with you today? You can put it in a window of your car, or you can just walk around with it, and it's going to be crazy, but go, today is my graduation, celebrate with me. Or today I got a master's degree, celebrate with me. And hold that around and walk that around everywhere you go, so people have the chance to give to you a smile and some happiness. There you go. She's writing it down. And that's your celebration. And then record it. Record it.
Today is my graduation day. Will you celebrate with me?
Yeah, celebrate with me.
Oh.
They'll beep at you. They'll honk to celebrate. Watch. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And what you're going to do is you're going to give everybody an outlet to spread their smile and their joy to you.
That's such a brilliant idea.
And tell them this, if they ask, this is how I'm celebrating. I didn't get to walk today, but I get to be with all of y'all instead.
That's a good idea. I'm going to get all dressed up all nice. I'm going to take my son to the sitters, and whoever I come across, some of the people in the elevators aren't that friendly. They're all like masked up and don't even want to talk to you.
What are you wearing a mask? Do you have to wear a mask in the elevator?
I mean, I do, just in the elevator, just because you never know who's been coughing in there. But other than that, I'm not really too worried about it.
You could always tape something to your mask that says, I got my master's degree today. And everybody in the elevator.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to post that on my social media.
Yes, go for it. Do it. And tell them if you see me out walking around, wave at me, holler at me, do something. Give me an air high five or honk at me in the car. But y'all, today is my day to celebrate with all of y'all. And instead of being in front of an auditorium of just a few people, I get the whole world to celebrate my master's degree today.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. Oh my God, you guys are amazing. And the only reason why I never hop on early in the morning is because sometimes my husband and my kid are still sleeping. So I literally have to just sit there quietly and just like listen. And I'm like, just chat. I'm putting like comments in the chat. I'm like, oh yeah, I agree. But like if I were to like have to talk, I would have to go outside on the balcony because I live in a condo. And right now we're like working on our new house. So once we get a new house, I can completely like hide in another room. But
yeah. So put your social media in the chat so we can all screenshot it or
go
to
it.
and follow
it's Rabo22. Rabo22. RABBO 22.
Okay. Yeah, we'll all go support you. And then today you get to celebrate with the world instead of just one particular audience. Yeah, that's so cool. That's so cool.
Thank you guys.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to wrap up the call. It's almost 11, and I think my daughter and my husband are chomping at the bit for me to be done. And I do have to shed the pink robe at some point and put some clothes on instead of just my PJs. But y'all, let me tell you something. I'm a moment of vulnerability, and then I'm going to wrap it up. I was extremely nervous to get on Sean Murphy's call and try to hold it down because I ain't Sean. I'm not, but I'm Rhonda. And I have a lot of greatness inside of me. And I was nervous, and I simply just said a prayer and asked God, just show up in me however anybody needs it and speak through and let me get out of the way. And you guys are so sweet to me. Thank you, y'all, for the comment.
You are so amazing.
Well, thank you. So are y'all. And it's that whole a rising tide raises all ships. And as y'all raise, I rise as well. And the way y'all have stayed on and supported everybody and allowed me to kind of be the moderator here, I love y'all. Thank you. I know what Sean feels like. I love y'all. Y'all are amazing.
We love you, Rhonda.
Love y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hold on, I want to screenshot some of this chats before you close out the call.
Okay. Yeah, you tell me.
How amazing you guys are.
Y'all are fabulous. I'll report back to Sean. He has a lunch break from this event. I'll let him know how amazing the call was. And we'll go from there. So Elizabeth, did you get your screenshots?
Yeah, there's so many of them. Oh my God, I'm just now getting a chance to look at it. Oh, thank you guys.
I haven't even had a chance to look. So You'll have to post them or send them to me because I haven't had it. I'm only on my phone, so trying to do all this on a phone is challenging. But
Yeah.
okay, are you ready for it to end? Are you good?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay,
you
so
guys.
let's do it
I love
in
you
Great
guys.
day.
We'll do it in Sean Murphy style, but I'll say I'm Rhonda Parker, the pink robe woman, and I'll see you all where?
At the next Ronda event.
The next event.
Love you, my misfit family.
Love you guys.
Everyone have a blessed
Made my
day.
Saturday. Love
Congratulations
you.
again, Elizabeth.
Bye.
Love you guys. Have a
Thank
great
you so
day.
much. Liz. Woo!
Love y'all. Have a great one.
Liz. Thank you, Rhonda.
Yeah,
See you guys
bye,
tomorrow.
y'all.